What the hell is this?
Check your balls.
Devilmaycryanime is ass.
This is doo-doo.
This is so mid.
This is not my Dante.
Who is this Gojo clone?
Why is Dante acting like Deadpool? Why is
This is so disgraceful to the Devil May Cry IP. Now that's what I would be saying if I played those games. Now before we get into this is opinion video. If you're gonna be so sensitive over an opinion, you're just making yourself look like a child, a kid. It's not that serious. This is just my opinion. Before I go to my opinion, let me just put this short clip from this interview of one of my GOAT voice actors of all time, Johnny Young Bosch, the voice actor of Nero, and Dante from the Devil May Cry anime on Netflix. So let me put your attention to this first.
Well, I do like the show. I love the character too. But at the same time, I do feel like everyone has a right to their opinion. That's true, you know? I'm not gonna attack somebody for their opinion. I don't like seeing people attack other people for liking it. That bothers me because I feel like, let them like it. It's okay. And it's okay for you not to like it. That's fine as well. I don't like people attacking others for liking it. That really irritated me a bit. And I don't mind them. Actually, I prefer them to attack me because I can take it. You know, it's like I've been doing this for a very long time. Not everything I do is going to resonate with people. I hope that it does. If it's constructive criticism, that's cool because then we can take and adjust. But if you're just saying mean, hurtful things, that doesn't get us anywhere. You know what I mean? I would prefer it if people were a bit more constructive and less attacky.
Yes, just like he says, this is opinion matters. You can be respectful, as John Young Bosch has said himself. Clearly, this guy is wise and mature about it. We can be respectful of different opinions from people. If you don't like my opinion, move on. At the end of the day, this is a fictional show with fictional characters. So if you're gonna be overly sensitive and hurt for an opinion, you're just gonna make yourself look like a kid. It's very childish behavior to do insults over an opinion on fictional media. Sorry, I have to make that clear. I have to really put it out there because my Invincible video, my goodness, I never seen such immaturity from a fandom in my life. I had to make that clear. I had to because I feel like people might be butthurt of my opinions and views for the Devil May Cry anime from Netflix. But to make it short, I love this series. I love this season of Devil May Cry anime from Netflix. I freaking adore it. I'm not the only one, by the way. It's very divisive. You either love it or you hate it. Now, to give some background to my history of Devil May Cry series, like I said, I've not played all the games, but I have played Devil May Cry 5 like 4 years ago. Incredible game. I'll be honest, the story, the plot, I didn't really know what was happening for the most part. I mean, that was my first real entry to the series. But I had some experience even before that. I watched my brothers play the old Devil May Cry games on the PS2 years ago when I was like 7, 8. It's been so many years since then, so I don't really recall of what was happening in the series or in the game. But all I know, when I was a kid, I absolutely loved it. All right, like Dante and Virgil, I found them to be such captivating characters even when I was such a young kid. Albeit, I didn't know what was happening, but I love these characters. That's all I know. And I remember the games were very difficult. That's it. And that's with all the Devil May Cry games, including the Devil May Cry reboot. I actually remember a lot of that game, like even like the story.
But you can call me Dante the Demon Killer. Has a nice ring to it, don't you think?
I remember me and my brother, when I was watching him play it, we both decided, we thought, this is such a disgrace and embarrassment to the series. But the combat hit, bro. The combat was so good in that game. Like, I don't understand. Capcom struck gold with Dante and Virgil. Like, their character design and personality. For some reason, they decided to reboot it. Like, why?
I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better looking. And I got a bigger dick. That shit's ass, bro.
Like, if you think of top 5 characters from Capcom, Dante and Virgil like has to be there. Like, they have to be there. But that's it. That's my quick rundown of like my history with Devil May Cry. He's like one of my main characters to go for the Marvel's Capcom 3. Same with Virgil. I love them too in that game. But that is my history. I'm not like a super fan, but I'll call myself a fan of the Devil May Cry series. So even with that said, I'm a fan of the series, and still I love the damn anime. Like, I knew from the get-go, we're not gonna get, you know, one-to-one to the series. For the most part, I believe, this is my personal take, the few experiences I had with the Devil May Cry series, it felt mostly intact and keeping it accurate to the source material to me, with some liberty here and there. Just be glad, you Devil May Cry fans, like even the hardcore ones, just be so happy that it's an anime and not, you know, live action show. Just be happy about that. All I'm saying, it could have been way worse. And the hate for this, to me, is blown out of proportion. To me, how good it looks, even like the art style, you can't hate on art style. I think art style looks incredible. Animation, oh my god, the animation was so consistent. Like, that's the key word here. It was consistent. Whether you like it or not, the consistency with the animation was freaking impressive, super impressive. Every freaking episode, the fight choreography and animation was going ham. They're going hard with it. Besides few 3D animation here and there, which didn't really take me out of it too much and wasn't as bad as some 3D animation seen in the past. But I'm still one of those fans that prefer 2D traditional animation. I do also want to point this out, whether you like the anime or not, it does good for the IP, because as you can see here by this Twitter post, Devil May Cry HD collection hits a Steam all-time high, and Devil May Cry 5 sees a spike in players after the Netflix show release. It's getting people in the mood to play. So it's doing good for the IP, because more player base, more sales. Capcom is a game company. Every game company loves money. So if it increases sales and it's profitable, they're gonna make more sequels, right? Devil May Cry fans, I've seen it, they've been clamoring at Capcom, where's our DMC? Devil May Cry 5 was released in 2019. We haven't got a sequel in over 5 years. So all in all, this is a good thing, very good thing. Whether you like the show or not, again, still good for the IP, because this increases chances of a sequel happening or a new game. So I don't care if you hate Adi Shankar or whatever, I don't know much about him. Another example here, Dante for Devil May Cry Anime Netflix. I'm not a big fan of this game, but I'm really enjoyed this anime series. I'm the one who's waiting for next season. It has like 2.9k likes. It's increasing the fan base in general. So now I'm gonna go through the review, my thoughts about this series. Now, disclaimer, no spoilers talk yet. I will make it clear when I do talk about spoilers, when I go through each episode. I'll put in chapters as well, so it makes it clear. But right now, no spoilers, spoiler free. So let's talk about Dante's design. I dig it, I like it. I know it's very divisive. People wanting the long hair, straight hair Dante. But again, they're taking some liberty. Now, I'm not really a fan of when people take too much liberty and change a lot. I don't think this is a big change like a lot of people are assuming. I think this is Dante, like the straight up is Dante. It looks like he's being modernized, so I'm fine with this. Maybe it's not good as a Devil May Cry games, but it's good enough for me. They changed the voice actors. It's Johnny on Bosch, which is Nero's voice actor. So they're using Nero's voice for Dante. At first, ooh, there was a lot of hate, but people are so indifferent about this. They were so like conflicted. Like, I don't know. I love Ruben, which is the original voice actor from the games. Everyone loves his performance, especially after years, like what, 20 years of Ruben's voice. So it's a bit weird to readjust to a new voice actor.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light.
Not to mention it's Nero's voice. Like, Dante has his nephew's voice, so it was a bit odd at first. But Johnny on Bosch, you know, he's talented. His performance is so good that I actually forgot it's Nero's voice, genuinely. By the way, incredible performance by Johnny on Bosch. He did say if you hate anything, don't hate the people that love the show, hate him instead.
Actually, I prefer them to attack me, because I can take it.
Which you should not do, by the way, but I respect Johnny on Bosch for saying that. Like, that shows how wise and mature he is. He's willing to take the hate for the show to him. And if there's anyone that can replace Dante, I don't mind that it's him. He's one of my favorite voice actors. He legit plays some of my favorite characters like Ichigo. I've noticed people online also said that Dante is basically Ichigo if he let himself go, if he had some fun. I'm like, you do know Nero exists. Nero is literally one-to-one to Ichigo. Their girlfriends look the same. Kirie or him looks the same. They dress the same. If I'm not wrong, they have the same English voice actress. Their transformation looks very similar. Their personality is like exactly the same. The angsty teenager personality. I would not be surprised if Devil May Cry took inspiration from Bleach for Nero. I genuinely would not be surprised. Speaking of characters, let's talk about Lady.
Who caught who now, motherfucker?
I feel indifferent about her design. I should have mentioned this as well, by the way. A lot of these characters are very early, like the series of events. If I'm not wrong, this is based on Devil May Cry 3, which is the first in the series of events for Devil May Cry franchise as a whole. It's first in a chronological order. So this is a very young Dante. This is a very young Lady. It looks like this is even younger than Devil May Cry 3. Like, it looks like both characters are even younger than that. They look it, act like it, and even where they are in the story seems like it. So Lady obviously doesn't have an iconic, unique design, you know. know, the white jacket, the white and black contrast. It's none of that. It has a blue outfit, which is her uniform. Because at this stage in the story, she works for like this police force called Darkham. She's one of the commanders. Probably the best soldier they have up to now from what we've seen. This is definitely a different take on ladies. Even her personality is a bit different. Maybe a lot different, in fact. Because my context before the anime was Devil May Cry 5. And it's a very different personality. Like Devil May Cry 5, she was more bubbly in a way. She's more positive, friendly, hyperactive as well. But in anime, she was stern. She was stone cold, like straight up killer. She was taking no shits, like straight up. Speaking of shits, she was swearing. My God, she has a vulgar mouth right here.
Fucking motherfucker. Shithole. Fucking dumb fuck. Some elite-sized balls. Fucked up shit. Shit. Fuck. Fucking Roger fucking Rabbit rejects asshole. Fucking sick motherfucker.
Swearing doesn't make you cool.
This got a lot of hate. I've seen this online. People did not like that she was swearing like every sentence. It doesn't really annoy me, but I would have preferred if she like toned that down. But I give it a pass because again, she's very young. Even in the police force, despite she being a commander, she seems quite inexperienced. Like her tomboy personality is being juiced up like tenfold, like straight up. After the show, I went to watch some clips from Devil May Cry 3. And believe it or not, from what I've seen, she does have that snarky personality. Like she does have the tomboy aspects. Not to this level, but it was there. It was present from what I've seen from the games.
Date a demon? I'm not that desperate. Besides, I really don't care for guys who stink like blood.
I think my main complaint is the swearing could be toned down, which I believe they will. I think the season 2, when she gets older, more experienced, I feel like she'll calm down with that. But also design, I obviously prefer. I think most people prefer her white jackets. And her weapon was missing for majority of the show, her iconic weapon. It's funny because she's actually one of the main characters. To me, it felt like I've seen her more than Dante. Believe it or not, it felt like she's actually the main star. She had most of the screen time, like that's what I believe anyways. Power scaling can be a bit off at times. Again, no spoiler here. There's certain instances where Dante is so broken as he should be. But then other times where he's like kind of nerfed. There's this one scene, again, no spoilers here, where he's so fast. It's like he has Flash level speed. Like straight up Flash from DC, the DC comics. He has that level speed. And there's other times where he's not as fast as like a mere human. So it just doesn't add up at times. Now story, without spoilering, I don't mind it. I really actually enjoyed my time with this story. Now this could be a very wild take because again, I've not played all the games. I've not played DMC 5. I've seen some games here and there when I was a kid, but I never thought the appeal for Devil May Cry from the games were ever the story. I never thought the story was like that complex. Devil May Cry was always a series to me, again, this is my personal opinion, where the characters carry, you know, the aesthetics and of course the combat. But besides those two, it was always the characters. Like I said before, Capcom struck gold with Dante and Virgil, and Lady and Triss are such cool female characters. So it's always about the characters, their personality, the character story. So maybe not the overarching story or the main objective is for these stories, but the character stories themselves, that was what's the most captivating for me. Characters and their stories, that's it. I don't really care much about the story, and this is coming from DMC 5 mainly. I'm not the only one with this. Devil May Cry 5, most people that played that, which is majority of the fan base, because if I'm not wrong, Devil May Cry 5 was one of the highest selling Devil May Cry games of all time. Most people didn't even know what the story was about. They were so confused. One minute we fight a boss, the second minute we see Dante dancing with a hat like in Michael Jackson. I mean, I didn't hate it, I freaking love that scene, one of my favorite scenes. But I've seen clips online where people are so freaking confused. I don't know if I can find it, where someone was like, I don't know what the F is going on with this damn story. And then quite literally the second later, Dante starts dancing. My man's brain was discombobulated. He didn't know what was happening.
I don't understand a thing in this game, bro. This game has done nothing but just confuse me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just don't understand what's going on.
Alright, bet.
I can't say much about other DMC stories. DMC 5, which I played from start to end. What the hell was that? I believe you can summarize DMC 5 story in like a sentence. So that's my 2 cents on story. I will go into that more deep in spoiler talk. Let's talk about the actual animation, right? Because this is anime. Thank God, not live action. Again, be grateful it's not live action. Absolutely incredible. Animation was spot on. The most impressive thing about animation is consistency. Before the Devil May Cry anime, I came straight from watching Invincible season 3. Invincible as a whole know is a much bigger show, right? It's a big cartoon animation from America. While I'm not the biggest fan of art style, the main issue is like the consistency of the animation. Again, I'm not spoiling Invincible here. It's only like the last two episodes. The animation went really good. Before that, animation was like so underwhelming. So underwhelming. So the DMC fans should be happy we didn't get that level. And that's from Amazon, Jeff Bezos, who can easily put money into that. And that's from an IP or product, Invincible, that's so monumentally huge now. It's probably one of the most popular comics right now. Yet the animation looks absolutely mediocre. So I'm just happy it doesn't look like that. And even more happy that it's consistent. Every episode was crazy action, flawless animation, amazing choreography, and it focuses on what the DMC fans love, which is like combat, action scenes, fight scenes, you name it, you know. So that hypes us up and boosts our dopamine. Art style, spectacular. I think it really fits. Again, this could be all amplified because I came straight from Invincible. That could be the case. Everything looks so much better from that. Now music, I know people were iffy about it. So online complaints saying there was no like, they weren't vibing with the music, and they were complaining they weren't using the Devil May Cry music from the games. I said to myself like, did you watch the same show? They use legit music from the game. Maybe it's not one-to-one. It's probably remixes and covers. Could be licensing issues, who knows? But it existed. It was in anime. Maybe not for a long period of time, but it was there. And when they weren't using the game music, they're using rock theme music, which I don't know if I liked, but it is fitting for Devil May Cry. It has rock like type of theme. Heck, doesn't Dante use a guitar a lot, like rock guitar?
Let's rock.
So I don't really love that they use rock music, but I didn't hate it either. I thought it's like, you know, Devil May Cry, it makes sense. And they did use music from the Devil May Cry games. Devil Trigger, they use that. I Am the Storm that's approaching, they use that. They also use the iconic, the Devil May Cry theme song, the iconic one. Granted, it's not the same, it's a remix, but they still use it. I saw someone complaining saying they didn't use a Devil May Cry game OST. Maybe it's not the same, and I would have loved if they used it in one of the fight choreographies or any moments in anime. But it was still in the end credits. It was there. So animation, music, I was happy with. Bro, episode 6. Oh my god, I'm gonna talk about that later. Episode 6 music was phenomenal. Phenomenal music choices. It felt like a movie, that episode. Not just direction or animation or storytelling, but the music. Oh my god, that amplified those moments. Censorship, no censorship, so happy. So happy. Voice acting, very well done. Rabbits, the white rabbits or rabbit man, absolutely perfect performance. Dante, John Young Bosch, loved it. Lady's voice, I was a fan. I wasn't like overly impressed by it, probably because the swearing was like throwing me off a bit, or the excessive swearing, but I liked it. There's another character I won't say, again because it's spoilers, I will talk about him later, was Robbie Draymond. If you don't know who he is, he's the one that voiced Akechi from Persona 5, as well as Prompto. This man has range, and he did a very good performance for that specific character. Again, story isn't amazing. I expected that. I didn't go into this for story, but it's not as bad as what people say, and I was entertained. I was thoroughly entertained and engaged. Dante, for the most part, felt like he was reflective of what he was from the games. I do want to talk about controversy with Dante. People are saying he's very Deadpool-like. One example, he did a "your mama" joke. yes, we got a mum joke from Dante.
I heal extremely fast, like a superhero. Not that I call myself a superhero, but your mom does.
So people made a correlation between him and Deadpool. People saying Dante was never a Deadpool type of character. Why do they make him like a Deadpool, like a joke character? Now, for my defense for this is Dante is very young still. You can tell he's very young. So he's very arrogant and cocky. Now, I'm not saying I loved that he did a "your mama" joke, but I wasn't as triggered as a lot of people, a lot of fans on Twitter. I was like, yeah, it's your mom joke. I didn't really laugh at it, but I didn't really hate it. I was like, oh, okay. Basically, I wasn't thrown off by it. So people are saying Dante is so like Deadpool. That connection I found very amusing because let me show you this one clip from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. It's opening sequence. Capcom game, by the way. They intentionally put Dante versus Deadpool. It's like Capcom telling you they're both of somewhat similar. There are similarities between the two anyways. So I don't get why people are hating. I'm not saying I want a 100% copy of a Deadpool character for Dante. I'm not saying that. But Capcom knows there's a similarities. There's gonna be some similarities with them regardless. They both are like class clowns in a way. But back to your mom joke, it's not that bad. And it's probably the worst or the most Deadpool thing he really said. And that's about it. The Gojo comparison needs to stop as well. Just because he's a white hair character, you don't have to say he's a Gojo clone. You have to put that there. Dante also came first, alright? He came way before Gojo. He was one of the first oral farmers.
Sorry, not open for business yet.
I really like that Dante was calling Lady throughout the whole show. Not once did Dante call her Mary, like at all. Another character I definitely want to talk about is Rabbit Man, or the Right Rabbit. He is the main antagonist. My goodness, is he an incredible character. I was researching a bit on him. Apparently, from what I've seen online, he is from the devilmaycry manga. I think DMC 3 manga. It looked like he had the same design as well. And that design is so flawless. That they cooked with that design. That is such a devilmaycry design. I'm surprised he's not been in a game yet. He'd be an amazing antagonist in one of the games. The voice acting performance was spot on.
Now, we all go down the rabbit hole together.
It's funny that the manga is based on DMC 3, again the first in the stories of events. Badass villain, amazing design, fits the DMC world, dig his aesthetics, his ideology, his backstory was perfection. He looks like he's based on Alice in Wonderland. That's basically his whole aesthetics right there. Generally loved everything about him. It's just a conclusion. I feel conflicted about his conclusion and with the direction they go for. Besides that, he is like one of my favorite characters alongside Dante. Vice President Baines, he is a funny man. He's essentially the Cecil or Amanda Waller of this anime. You probably know by now, but he is the voice actor Kevin Conroy, the legend himself, R.I.P. Batman's voice actor. And wow, I'm so used to hearing Batman's voice. It's so nice to have a different performance or a character that's not Batman all the time for Kevin Conroy, and he killed it. Baines was such a good character, and like 60% of that was partly because of the damn voice acting performance.
Hell is real. And the holy war is here.
So up to now, it's all good. Like, I love the characters, love the world, love the animation, love the music. Well, not love the music, I like the music. Love the art style, super engaged with the action scenes, the choreography, thoroughly entertained. So it's all good. Story was probably the weakest part. Story wasn't anything spectacular. I'm not expecting, you know, the Attack on Titan, the One Piece level of storytelling. Nothing like that. I expected that before I went in. So that's really the main negative about it. But the story wasn't bad. Like, it wasn't bad at all. It may be average, but it's far from bad. Characters, again, for the most part, was amazing. Every now and then, there were some inconsistencies and some out of character decisions. Like, no spoiler, but Lady was just about to make an accident, a road accident, just for a flashy entrance. If you know what I mean, I think the second to last episode, I was like, what is she doing? She's legit just about to cause potential harm for a flashy entrance. Like, why? The stuff like that, I was like, okay, that's a out character. That's an inconsistency there. So all in all, I'll give it like an 8.5 out of 10. Like, I really had a very good time with this anime. I'm going for the characters. I'm going for the hype, the higher octane energy, the fights, the animation, which was incredible. And that's it. I got what I wanted or what I expected. The antagonist was superb. I loved him. The White Rabbit was amazing. Now let's go for spoilers. Spoiler talk now. This is everything spoiler. Let's go through the episodes now. So first episode was, of course, Dante's introduction. Bro, that baby in the cot. Did that baby die? Like, that Cyclops guys took the baby away to transform into the baby. I believe it's confirmed that Cyclops guy need that host to live so that he can take form of that being. But he'd been taking forms of so many different characters throughout the show. So did he eventually kill that baby? Hope not. That's quite dark, especially for the first episode. Like, okay. If I'm looking down, because I look at my notes, I don't miss anything. There's a girl with like a pink hair from DMC 3. When I saw her, I was like, this girl looks so familiar. I was like, she looks like the girl from Metal Gear Rising with Vengeance. But I'm sure she is a character from devilmaycry, and I think she is. You guys could confirm in the comments below. This pink hair girl is a demon hunter. There's also another demon hunter who's like a priest. This guy looked like a total badass. I don't know who he is. Badass old geezer. And we get introduction to Enzo, which is Dante's buddy, basically his closest friend, which is funny because Enzo snakes Dante all the time. Enzo is a snaky ass character. He'll betray you for money easily. But that is Dante's closest friend, which makes you kind of feel bad for Dante because he is technically alone at this point in the story. Even though Enzo's a prick, you do sympathize with him throughout the show, and he does get character development. There's a scene in the cafe shop with Dante, this I want to talk about, where he is super speed. This is something that I mentioned earlier in the review. He was so fast, he was as fast as like Flash, like straight up. Like, I shit you not, he was so fast. And it makes you think like, how does he struggle in fights? If he's this fast, how did he struggle? Because later on he has a fight with Lady, like a one-on-one fight, toe to toe. Again, granted, he wasn't trying hard. Dante doesn't want to kill, he didn't kill humans. While Lady was actually trying probably her hardest to get a necklace. Doesn't change the fact you have super speed. You should be able to get the necklace within a second. End of the day, Lady is a human. There's only a limit a human can do. You're a demon, half demon. It's funny that Dante with the cafe scene, someone tried to flirt with him. Now it makes sense why in Devil May Cry 5, this guy is still single with no kids. I believe he's aware of these signs, but he just don't care. 100% Dante is gonna be that one cool uncle that never got married or got kids. Now it makes sense with Devil May Cry 5 with Nero. Actually makes a lot of sense.
You're sweet.
There's a report on the computer because when they collected all the demon hunters, they eventually found out that Dante, which I'm surprised he's not that popular. He should be the most popular demon hunter because he is clearly the strongest demon hunter. From interrogation, they found out that Dante was the main goal for this white rabbit. But on the report, there's actually cool ass references and like details on the computer when Darkon was researching Dante. So it says stuff like, uses great sword and dual pistol. Honestly, I didn't see much dual pistol action from Dante in this anime. Like mostly sword, but I didn't see much with the pew-pews, with the blickies. I mean, he doesn't have ivory or ebony yet, which Adi Shankar confirmed he will 100% get that in a cool way. There's actually going to be a story involving those weapons, so fair enough, maybe he doesn't want to use a lot of guns because the guns he has are basic weapons, they're crap. I prefer sword play combat anyways. I think when him using sword looks way cooler. But it'd be nice to use some, you know, shooting more, like here and there in some fights. The report also mentioned he does like corny jokes, which is funny because that was one of the complaints online, saying Dante's a bit corny, from the looks of it intentional. This one's a funny one. Often refers to video games as if his demon hunting missions are games. Is that a reference to like rank S, A, B, whatever you call it? 5+ years of demon hunting, which I found odd because after I finished the show, I thought he had like 1-2 years experience, but 5 years is a lot. So he's actually experienced hunter. He may be still young, but experienced. The report was literally just glazing Dante, like straight up, like crazy capabilities. Also, first episode we see Virgil. It's a fake out. It's not actually Virgil. It's a blue Cyclops character, the demon that can turn it into characters. But he turned it into Virgil, and Dante's like, wait, you should be dead. Why are you alive? Of course, it's a fake out, which Dante realizes.
Dante, I'm Virgiling it. I'm pulling my trigger, brother.
No, you're dead.
It's time to edge.
But what I found this scene hilarious, Dante has never seen Virgil as an adult, like at all. The last time Dante seen Virgil was a kid, and he thought he died then. And when I mean kid, I mean like kid, like looks like he got killed around like 7 years of age. And this blue Cyclops guy turned into Virgil as a grown ass adult. I'm surprised Dante didn't question like, you're Virgil, but at the same time, why are you an adult? I'm confused. And how do you recognize him immediately? I guess he's a twin, so he should look like Dante in a way. But then again, you should be saying, you look like me. Not you look like Virgil, realistically. How do you know he looks like Virgil? It doesn't make sense, it's an adult. Causes for plots and Easter egg. And in that moment, we got I'm the Storm that's approaching music. So it's definitely a fan service moment, which I don't hate. I think it's cool, even though it didn't make no sense. But even in that moment, Dante should have said like, mate, Virgil must be alive somewhere, after knowing the fact that was a fake. The end of the episode with a Dante dance, which was so damn funny, so cool as well. Has to be a reference to DMC 5. I don't know if he danced before in any other games. By the way, well animated, just saying, for dance choreography, that was so well animated. Making characters dance in animation looks hard to me to do, so applaud to the animators. So episode 2 is where Dante was officially being attacked and talked about Darkon group. Amazing scene, Dante versus Lady was such amazing animation. Very well choreography, well directed. You can tell they both were kind of like holding back until it got to a point where Lady was actually trying to kill Dante. Now that I think about it, if you kill Dante, it would put end to Rabbit's plan. I never actually thought about that. So Darkon could have possibly just target Dante and kill him off, even though that's probably like impossible job. They probably knew themselves they can't do that, they're not strong enough. Even the parkour running animation, the wall ones look sick. My biggest complaint is how this ended, specifically Dante getting paralyzed by the pistol, a taser weapon. I'm like, bro, You're Dante. You take bullets for a living. You take a sword to the chest like it's light work. So I don't understand how electricity can stop you. It made me think as well, like, why don't everyone have like tase weapons? If it can stop Dante, it can probably stop any other demons out there. Albeit it was momentarily, obviously it's not like a permanent solution, but it stops him for at least a minute. 30 seconds, that's good enough to lock him up. The episode 3 is a motorway highway scene where Dante was locked up in the truck. This I found very odd and peculiar that Dante was able to break the handcuffs quite easily, considering his strength, insane strength. This could be another example of him just being too young still, I don't know, and not to be in tune with his demon strength yet. Gotta remember at this point, he still believes he's 100% human. He doesn't think he's demon. It was so funny when Lady was saying like, everyone has dead family and traumatic childhood. I'm so glad she brought up.
Yeah. We all have dead families and traumatic childhoods.
This is not just common in this show, but every show, especially anime, their parents are always dead. And she had like no remorse, no sympathy for Dante, which is the same for me. When I watch a new show and they're like, my parents dead, they died when I was young. I've gone to the point where I'm like desensitized by it. It's so common at this point. Find me a shonen main character where the parents has died, besides Ichigo's. Either dead or missing, it's one or the other. This is where they get ambushed by the truck. They get ambushed by the White Rabbit. Well, White Rabbit has friends with him this time. It's not just him. And among those, one of them was Angelo. Bro, this guy, when I saw him, I'm like, yo, you're from Devil May Cry 5. Why are you here? You're too strong for these guys right now. Like, this is a high-level threat that you fight or see much later on in the game. So I was shocked when I saw him. But from DMC 5, Dante made light work of him, which is funny because they have a fight in this season, which is very different to that game. But I found it odd that Lady was able to fight all the demons, Angelo included, by herself. Yes, she was struggling. Yes, she had more space to work with. But to hold her own for that long was very impressive, but at the same time, she shouldn't be able to do that. Not solo anyways. Also, I forgot to say this as well, she has a whole team behind her. I knew from day one they were gonna die. I knew it. Because 1, eventually Lady has to work with Dante according to the games. 2, Lady eventually also works alone, kind of. 3, I don't recall any of these guys from any of the games. So I just feel like they're gonna die. And there's some times they're trying to make us have emotions and feelings for the characters. When they do that in stories, 9 out of 10 times, it's to build them up to die so that we feel something. And long and behold, that happens. The motorbike run race scene was so Matrix-like. There's actually a couple of movie references in this anime. Like, this has to be Matrix. Dante used a motorbike. That was a cool reference to DMC 5. I don't know if he used motorbike in any of the games, but it's a cool reference regardless. Dante was also using enemy weapons. He was using the twins weapons, which is fire and wind. I've seen someone mention it that this is actually a reference to the game. It takes enemies' weapons. Don't know if that's true. You can confirm that. I think that does happen in the games when I was a kid. I think that's what I remember. I don't know if I'm getting confused with Ninja Gaiden. This episode also had the funniest stuff with Professor throwing a grenade and then the right rabbit just parries so nonchalantly. Like, you really tried it. You really tried the grenade. Let me parry the grenade and lock the door on you. So now on to episode 4, but I want to include episode 5 with this. This is episode 4 and 5. This is my thoughts. Finally get a flashback between Dante and Virgil for the first time. We actually get a bit more insight on Dante's past, finally. This is like halfway through the season as well. Seeing his mother, for the first time was cool. It's funny how Dante was recollecting his memories about his mother by seeing that one stranger that looks like Eva, his mother. I'm like, just because she has blonde hair, like, okay. Unless that girl was Triss. This is the hostage scene on a plane where the 2 twin brothers were, managing and technically speaking, interrogating Dante and the rest of them. The hostage was actually Darkon, so Vice President Baines was there as well. Same with Dante and bum-ass Enzo. And basically the twins, I forgot what their names were. I think one was Runda or something like that, or Ranga. So they wanted Dante to activate Devil Trigger, which is what the White Rabbit needs to activate the key, which is necklace. So the twins give him a dilemma where it's like, we kill everyone on the plane unless you activate Devil Trigger. So Dante gets out of the handcuffs, of course. So I was finding both twins in this small ass space. Don't know how that worked. He was actually getting his ass whooped at first. I don't know how, but he was. Maybe he was getting too emotional because this was the first time he found out he was a son of Sparta and he was thinking about his twin brother and mother. But he eventually realized he's getting ass handed a bit too much by these low level demons, for Dante anyways. So he actually beats up one of them, stabs them, the red one that dies first. The blue one is funny, his reaction is funny, he's like, brother! Brother! And this is when the plane actually explodes and everyone starts flying. Of course, we get a skydive scene, Dante flying. I believe that happens a lot in the games. There's a Human Torch reference in this scenario as well. I forgot about that, which I found odd, but okay. Also with the Vice President Baines, his ideology was so weird. He's the one character in the whole show I could not understand. I don't get what his end goal was. At one point, he wants to capture Dante. Another point, Dante is for the plan of God or something like that. Like, you have a role to play. So there's other parts where he's defending Dante. And after he defends Dante, he goes back to, we need to lock Dante up. Like, what is it? I don't get it. And he's showing that sympathy for him. Like, I thought he'd be pissed off when Baines found out he's part demon, but he didn't really care. Other instances where he hates demons, no matter what level of or friendly they are. If you're a demon, you're getting killed regardless. Even if you helped the lady, it's messed up. So basically his end goal I was so confused with. The skydive scene, it was nice to see the acrobatic Dante. The animation was definitely showing off the animation skills and talent, because they be moving, man. During the skydive, Dante actually activates Devil Trigger for the first time. This is where you get the Devil Trigger theme song from Devil May Cry 5, yes. Which is actually Nero's theme song, if you actually think about it. The guy stole his nephew's song, how dare you. Stole his voice, stole his music. That's one of my favorite songs from the series, from what I've played anyways. Devil Trigger Dante was very Nero-like. This guy was just sinister in a way, straight up. Like, he went to a guy, and the guy's like, "Get off me, you're a demon." And Dante's like, in a Devil Trigger form, "I'm gonna die, then I'll throw you right now," or something like that. Like, he had no sympathy, there's no humanity. So it looks like in his human form, he's more human and character. Devil Trigger, he's like 80% demon. He's nearly there. But he's bare serious. He is locked in. He was taking no shits. So when people say he's so Deadpool, I'm like, nah, this Devil Trigger form is the opposite of Deadpool. This is when it's 3D. 3D is, I didn't really hate it. I've seen way worse 3D in the past with other anime. Of course, I would prefer 2D animation, but I didn't hate it. The fight he has with the blue twin is also 3D. Dante Devil Trigger form versus the blue twin brother. It wasn't bad, it actually looked cool. But again, nothing would ever beat 2D animation. So episode 3, 4, 5 is the only episode that actually used some 3D. At least it was good 3D. One cool detail I didn't notice in my first watch. Upon rewatching, the wings that Dante have in the Devil Trigger form, it goes around him and becomes a trench coat. That's such a cool little, interesting, unique, creative way on making the wings become his red iconic trench coat. So cool. I don't know if that's from the game, but that is mad cool. So that was all the Dante stuff in these 2 episodes. But then Lady, we see her side of things. She put a tracker on a necklace. Of course, a rabbit knew. Come on. Why would a rabbit not know? The rabbit actually took the tracker and put it in a hotel that's full of traps. This whole thing's a trap for Lady and her team. Another thing, I don't know why Lady really went in with such little reinforcements. So you should have had backup plans. You should have had reinforcements just in case. I would solve so much issues. So Lady and team enters a trap house, and literally their trap house. This is a raid reference. There's no way this is not raid. It's so raid. Oh my god. I was like, they're not being unapologetic about this. They're making it clear to us. So basically the whole team died for Lady. No surprise, we knew that. I did feel something, at least something for them. Especially that one girl who's not specialized in fighting. She got killed first. I felt snide for her. So the whole team gets wiped, including the fodder soldiers. So it's only Lady, just Lady. I did miss out in one of the other episodes that the blue Cyclops guy actually takes one of the soldiers' body's identity and become a clone of him. He is also part of one of the fodder soldiers. So they all get wiped except Lady and that Cyclops guy, of course. Angelo was a savage here, not gonna lie. Lady gets poisoned. This was such a Resident Evil type of scene. Now I'm sure I've seen it somewhere in a Resident Evil game where the protagonist gets poisoned and starts hallucinating. And hallucination was full of zombies. Like, I swear the characters, his team, were full of zombies. They didn't look like demons to me. It was fine, kind of ironic, because correct me if I'm wrong, Devil May Cry was initially meant to be a Resident Evil spin-off. Like, it's meant to be based in a Resident Evil world. I could be wrong. Where instead of demons, it was meant to be zombies. But I didn't understand, why did the rabbit have the friendly Macais hostages? Never understood that. I thought he had sympathy and cared for the Macais. So I don't get why you put him in this hotel full of bombs and locked him up as hostage, considering his story, which I will get to. This scene was so odd. Lady was going about the hotel, trying to survive and find a way out. She eventually meets up with the one surviving member, the only surviving member on the team, which is the Cyclops guy. I don't know why. Instantly, you didn't suspect this guy could be a demon. I don't know how you didn't suspect that. I just realized as well, the first episode or the second episode, Lady realizes one of the demon hunters was actually a demon acting as a human. Lady knew because it was sent. So how did she not clock on here? Like, come on. You was more aware, more careful then than now. Maybe she was like caught up in the moment, but come on, everyone's dead but one. She eventually does figure out, but it took a long time. So when Lady actually does find out they actually have a fight, Cyclops versus Lady, what I found very bizarre is why did the Cyclops accept the offer from Lady, where Lady like let me live, you can take my body, like you can become a clone of me. He doesn't need to do that. Why does the Cyclops need to do that? He's following the rabbit's orders anyways. He's already gotten this far with just copying these low-level soldiers. So I don't know why he did this. I don't know why he took the offer. It doesn't make sense. Towards the end of the episode, we cut back to the blue twin brother fighting Dante. They eventually smash into this house, this hotel full of bombs, the traps where Lady is in. This is probably the only way Lady was actually able to escape. Lady technically saves Dante here, shoots the blue guy in the head. The blue demon with the twin, once his head explodes, is kind of funny because as he searched this guy up from the games, there's the twin brothers, the blue and the red guy, they actually exist in the games, but they exist with no heads. So you fight them with no heads. So it's funny that the blue guy, his head actually gets decapitated. Such hilarious and ironic. Episode 5 was very good for Lady's development because this is where she gains sympathy and becomes more open-minded for demons. This is where she realizes some Mackay, some demons can be good. Again, very Raid, such a Raid scenario. Raid is an underrated movie, such a sick movie, make sure you watch that. But how she was let in by one of the Mackays because they're being friendly. This is a point where Lady actually got like an epiphany, like, oh my god, is what she's doing right or is it wrong? And changed the whole viewpoint on demons, that someone can actually be good. What's sad about this is that Lady actually changed her mind. She tells all the reinforcements to not kill the Mackays, but actually take them in, the low-level friendly Mackays. Unfortunately, Vice President Baines finds this out and he was not happy. He just said straight, no, do not take him in. Kill them all, burn them, wherever it may be, kill them. They're all demons. This I didn't like. Where's the communication between Lady and Baines? And I would have liked to see Lady's reaction to Baines' order. It would be at this point or this stage where Lady would have been pissed with Baines. I feel like Lady would have talked back. Lady'd be like, wait, why are you doing this? They're actually friends. They helped me. They saved me. It sucks we didn't get that interaction. It would have been cool dynamic to see. So that miscommunication weird. Like, how did Baines not know what Lady said? And how did Lady not know what Baines said? And when they both had different orders, why didn't talk about it? Or why didn't troops get Lady in on this order that was made by Vice President? Episode 6, masterpiece. Masterpiece. Peak. Beyond peak. This is the best episode. Ironically, with no fights. So when people say the story is bad in the show, this episode had phenomenal storytelling, amazing narrative, straight up masterpiece, everything across the board. This is like a 10 out of 10 episode. Music, animation, storytelling, art style, the duality between White Rabbit and Lady, the parallels between the two, such an art piece. I even put here as well, it's art and peak at the same time. Music choice was so good. It evoked so much emotion. Perfect music for the perfect time. No rock, it was actually music that fits the scene. This is the one episode I don't really want to spoil because you guys need to see yourself. But basically, not to spoil it, we finally get the full story of the origins of the White Rabbit and Lady and how their story like diverges and goes into different paths and eventually like reunites in a way. And the parallels between the two. Art styles is incredible. This is where they went for a unique approach. This is one episode for the whole series or season where it's different. It's not the same art style. So what it did, which I kind of liked, this episode featured the two realms, Mackay Demon Realm and the Human Realm. One had a dark, gritty, monotone looking style to it, while the other one had like a children book, cartoon, inviting, friendly look to it. They made the Human Realm look dark, uninviting, unfriendly, disgusting, evil, gritty, unpleasant. But they made the Mackay Realm, which is known time and time again, being established, that place is horrible. Disgusting. You can die left, right, center. You can die any minute, any second from now. Poisonous. The demons are haunting. But a unique approach they went for the episode, which I loved. They made the Mackay Realm look like a kid's book. Since the rabbit is based on Alice in Wonderland, it kind of looks like Alice in Wonderland in art style. Not only does it look like the art style is a kid's book, but it's very colorful and vibrant. The monsters look kind of friendly, like chibified. When it goes back to Human Realm, very monotone, very desaturated. I really adore that approach. And I saw an interview Adi Shankar, say what he will about him, but his interview, I appreciate the direction he went for this. The reason he went for this is actually like very anecdotal. He put something from like his life. Now I love this even without his story, but what he said and why he decided to go with this is that when he was a kid, he used to live in India, but it was like the bad parts of India where it's like slums. So everyone was not getting treated fairly and everyone was struggling. He was one of the lucky few that actually eventually got to America and pursue his dreams and eventually got to where he is right now. But he said, despite how the living conditions were so much like better where he's at right now in America, compared to when he's a kid in India, obviously with poverty. He said he had such a good time there. Amazing experience. Most likely because of people, the family, the friends, which again links to episode 6 of devilmaycryanime, where the Mackay realm might be dark and gruesome world to live in. But the people around you and experiences, you can have a very fun and an enjoyable time. Solely because of course, the people, the family, friends. Knowing it's a bad place to live, his memory of that place was all good, happy, and positive. So that's the direction he went for you know, Mackay. He made it look like a children's book, and he made the human realm look bad and gloomy. So I found it very interesting, very, very interesting. In spite of that, I still loved the episode regardless. After I finished the episode, I went to my friends, I told them, please watch devilmaycryanime. Please watch it. It was so good. It made me so excited. I was preaching this anime. I was vouching people to watch this anime. You can be negative and have a negative opinion about the show, but episode 6, you cannot deny that was a masterpiece. I'm not even exaggerating here. One of my favorite episodes this year that I watched, hands down. There's something about episodes where it's like no dialogue. It's just show, not tell. Something about those episodes I love. I think Arcane did that as well. Wherever that direction is, I'm always like edge of my seats when it happens. I know what it is. I sometimes want to see something and not hear something. Zero dialogue until the very end with a rabbit. As soon as a rabbit puts a mask on, that's the first time we get dialogue. Also with this episode, at the end, we get OG Lady look. So before Lady joins Darkon, like officially as a troop soldier, we actually get the OG look from her. I was like, what? I thought we might get this in season 2, not before she joins Darkon, but okay. This is one episode I really don't want to spoil, but a lot of it could be avoided if the rabbit closed the damn portal, man. If he closed the portal, it would have solved so much issues. It's annoying because I sympathize with both. Lady can take a risk, and the rabbit had all the right intentions. And the path it goes down is actually so snide. The parallels are absolutely insane. The fire, there's fire happening in both stories at one point in their lives. Great storytelling for both Lady and Rabbit's origin story since they were kids. Episode 7, Virgil's first appearance, which looked like his devil trigger form. He was 3D here, which I really wasn't fond of, but again, it's a small scene, so it didn't bother me much. We see devil trigger Virgil form later anyway in 2D animation. It looks sick. But there's a dialogue exchange between Virgil and White Rabbit here. What I'd like to mention is White Rabbit didn't fold under any pressure, which I really liked. Honestly, I feel like White Rabbit won this exchange between the two. That's what it felt like. It looks like Virgil was trying to intimidate him, but it didn't work. White Rabbit didn't give a crap. Virgil's voice is cool. This is what I can actually say because we're in spoiler talk. Robbie Draymond, again, the voice of Ketchy as well as Prompto. This dude has mad range because I did not expect he can do such a gruff, serious, stern type of voice. So I appreciate that.
My sword. Far too great a power for one like you to wield.
And he killed it. I think he suits Virgil so well. Don't know if he's better than the original voice actor. I think it's Dan. Why isn't it working?
Why isn't this working?
This episode is involved Rabbit setting another trap for Dante to finally confront the rabbit officially this time. But this is where Lady tries to trap Dante and go alone by herself. We know this always ends up bad. What I found mad funny. Lady, before confronting the White Rabbit, she caused a whole ass accident on a motorway. And yeah, so the motorway, the highway at that. And you can see a lot of cars like stopping. She nearly caused a whole accident for a damn cool, flashy entrance. Like, what are you doing? This is so out of character. This made no sense. Of all the stuff that Lady has done, this is the worst thing she's done because it made no sense. Zero sense. She's willing to harm the innocent lives. Just look cool. Lady finally using her signature weapon. This is the first time she actually showcases and uses it. Dante versus Angelo, which was funny because DMC 5, Dante destroys Angelo with ease. Without sweat. Maybe because of Royal Guard. Royal Guard is so broken. Dante was not trying compared to anime, which Dante was struggling a lot in the Netflix anime. At least Dante was having a lot of fun. I didn't find it odd that Dante was struggling a lot with the devilmaycry mist. I mean, you're half demon, so maybe you have better tolerance. But then again, the low-level Mackays couldn't handle it. But I thought he had better tolerance than that. He got to the point he couldn't breathe it, like, at all. Dante was using fist weapons as like boxing gloves. I'm sure this is a reference to one of the games, like a gauntlet weapon. Angelo death was quite funny, quite gruesome, but still quite funny. Now episode 8, this is the final episode. I was not a fan of the White Rabbit's final design and transformation. He looks like Bane from DC. The fusion of the Sparta Sword was cool though. Definitely an entertaining fight. I'll be honest, episode 7 and 8 was actually the weakest episodes for me. The Dante and Lady shootout against the rabbit was cool and quite hilarious because Dante was shooting like he's a gangster with the side profile with the pistols. Not only that, I like that they were walking shooting, which has to be a reference to the game where you can walk and shoot. The death of Enzo the Bum, the snake himself, was somewhat shocking, but I like the risk they took. You know, they actually went to kill him. They went to kill a lot of characters in the show. I didn't really feel much for Enzo, but it was the most I felt with any death in this series. And you actually got development. You actually begin to like him a lot more towards the end. I feel like the music was a miss for the Dante versus Rabbit fight. There's a run scene, like a running animation from the Beast Rabbit, which looked amazingly cool. It looked straight out of like Hulk or Abomination. The Sword of Sparta's true form was dope. I do remember that from the game. The Rabbit finally reveals for the first time to Dante that Virgil is actually alive. That was a motivation, no pun intended, for Dante to be like, I have to survive, I have to lock in. I'll take this Sparta sword out of my chest. Somehow I'll survive that and slice you down. This is where he goes to Devil Trigger form, because this Devil Trigger form looks better than the last time you used Devil Trigger, because this time it's actually 2D animation as opposed to the 3D that we got with the twin, the blue guy. To be fair, Dante actually won this because of Lady's help. Lady shot the canister, the heart canister thing, which she said jackpot, which you are not allowed.
Jackpot.
That's a Dante and Virgil thing.
Jackpot.
So the rabbit in his monster form gets sliced all the way, you know, vertically, along with slicing the necklace, which actually caused the demon realm to join the human realm for tad bits. This is where Dante officially calls Lady, Lady. Like throughout the whole show, Dante did not call Lady. Is it Mary? Maria? I think Mary. Never called her by official name. For a whole show, it was Lady. Vice President Bane uses the portal device that was made by the rabbits to enter the Macquarie demon realm. This is where he tries to take a lot of control. He makes base. Legit, he sets up base over there. He gets so comfortable. Fair enough attacking, fair enough doing research, but setting up whole ass unit and base is crazy work to me. And where's Mundus, bro? Mundus needs to humble this guy. But I don't like the greed that these Dark Calm and Vice President Bane are doing. He was with this guy. Who is this guy, by the way? The guy with the tash. Randomly popped up. Apparently his name is Ouroboros. I think he was one of the enemies or something in one of the games. I don't know much about him. We finally see Virgil's human form besides the blue Cyclops guy copying him.
Devil may cry.
Dante, I'm trying to fight these demons, but I'm dummy thick and the clap of my ass keeps alerting them. I understand you and Nero have the same problem.
With his reveal, we get the storm is approaching music alongside a kind of a cheesy quote where it says something about storm, like I am that storm. I know some people can be nitpicky with this, but I find it funny. And devilmaycry does have some cheese. It does have some corniness to it, so I don't mind it. I'm glad his theme was played though.
I am that storm.
No way he just put in a
Devil may cry
reference in there. Yeah, man, my anime fans.
Now, for those that hate Dante's design, there is a new design for season 2, an adult or older Dante. Straight hair, which is what I would like and what I prefer. And he looks amazing. Like, he looks sick in this design. For the people that hate him for season 1, now you might not be hating. Hopefully not, because this looks like they listened to your complaint. Well, not listen, because it looks like they were going to do that anyways, which I knew. I knew this design was purposely done to make him look younger. So that's all the episodes. The worst 2 episodes were 8 and 7. Weren't bad, but they were the worst. Every other episode was really great. Episode 6 was a masterclass of an episode. 10 out of 10. That was my favorite episode. Some Easter eggs I noticed. Raccoon C mentioned, which is of course a Resident Evil reference, which also could be a reference to DMC being a spin-off, correct me if I'm wrong, to Resident Evil. Mega Man figurine we saw in the car. Street Fighter, of course. Shuriken. They use a red one. They use Ken, not Ryu, probably because of red, which matches Dante better. Same with personality. The Dante dance, is that a callback to DMC5? Dante pool scene, one of the best scenes in the whole show, especially one of the best action scenes. Choreography. Finished episode 2, where Lady and Dante was basically going toe-to-toe in a way. But this pool scene has to reference to the pool scene from one of the games. One of the first all-reforming gaming moments. And that's about it. I've seen some people complain about Makai, the demon design. It's not that deep. I think a lot of them look creepy, and I think a lot of them look like human, but I think it's fine. It's gonna be hard to make every demon look super realistic, super evil looking, so I can let that pass. Editing career, just want to interject. There's a big problem, big issue in this story that I didn't mention enough, and that is the power inconsistency of power level for Dante. I'm open to the fact of a weaker Dante. I'm fine with that. As crazy as that sounds, I know he's super broken, super strong from the games, and I would rather have that. I would rather have exact copy of the game. Even though I don't like to admit, it is fair and right for like the creators to have some liberty, some flexibility to add some stuff to the story or change some stuff. Not too much, but if they want to change some stuff for the story or make Dante weaker, I'm open to that. Because at the end of the day, this is an anime, it's a series, a show compared to a game. So for entertainment value, I feel like it is fair to have him weaker. However, that isn't where my problem is. My issue is keep it consistent. Because 1 minute he's super strong, super speedy, very lethal, very dangerous. The next minute, you can't even go toe-to-toe to a human. Yes, this human's Lady. Doesn't matter. At times, it looked like Lady was actually faster than Dante. Then the next scene, Dante is like a beast again. Like, what's happening? He's jumping around. He's jumping from strong to weak, and then from weak to strong, and back to weak. Like, keep it consistent. If you're gonna make him weaker, let it be. Hopefully, he grows to be strong. You know, I still want him to be as strong as the games. Eventually, anyways. Especially season 2 when he grows. But don't make his power level so all over the place. That's my main critique, main issue with this. I know a lot of people don't like the fact he's weaker. I'm open to it as long as he's not too weak and as long as he grows to the strength and the level from the games. And I wonder if Capcom approved a lot of the story changes or whatnot. I wonder. And a final thing I want to mention is that people that never played the video games, so the non-DMC fans, absolutely love this show. On the other hand, if you look at the gamers, the DMC fans, they dislike this show. They were very frustrated with the show. And that basically summarizes it. New fans loved it, original OG fans hate it. So all in all, fantastic anime, but a bad Devil May Cry anime, if that makes sense. And as me, who's in the middle, I'm a fan, but not a super fan, I think it's a really, really good show. And I cannot wait for season 2. At the end of the day, if you ask me, would I want this to exist or not exist? I'll still say yeah. I'll still say yes, I would want this to exist. My rating is still the same, so that's it. Back to the video. But that's it. I think overall, again, reviews like 8.5 out of 10. When it comes to enjoyment, honestly, it's like a 9 out of 10 in terms of enjoyment. I just had such a good time. Well, this video was already too long. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with my points. But let me know what you loved. Let me know what you disliked. Again, keep it respectful. Do not hate. Do not be pissed or be pressed over a damn opinion. If I want to enjoy this show, let me enjoy the show. If I want to hate the show, let me hate the show. If you don't like what I said, just leave. Go watch a different video that fits your opinion if you really need some validation. And I'm not here to say this is better than the games. It's not, by the way. I think DMC 5, which is one I played, is better than this. Doesn't mean I have to hate this. Hopefully we get a new game soon. Come on, Capcom. You see the appeal. People they want to jump back into Devil May Cry. But thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe. I do also have a Discord where we can discuss this further if you like. Until next time, catch you guys later. Bye.
やれやれだぜ。